Now, how does a three-dimensional system catch legal fees and tax disruptions before they become crises? Well, legal fees and taxes are the two forces most capable of dismantling a budget from the outside. And budgeting in three dimensions is a system that is structured to keep a budgeter alert, informed, and in control when they arrive. So we're talking about the projected budget. Now, the projected budget builds the alert into the plan. Okay. So it includes estimated tax liabilities as a projected budget line item every month. And you should have some kind of legal funding in your budget every month, whether there's going to be legal fees or not. Because what you want to do is you want to create a pot for your legal fees, just as you would for car maintenance or what may have you. You want that in the side so that when the time comes, you have something to offset it. Budgeting in three dimensions is the structure that keeps a budget alert, informed, and in control when they arrive. Now, this includes estimated tax liabilities as a projected budget line item every month, not just in April when you think tax time is coming. You're talking about every month. Self-employed budgeters project quarterly payments. All budgeters with variable income projects the tax consequence of income changes. The obligation exists whether or not it is in the plan. So if you have a legal situation or a legal matter occurs or a legal matter begins, it enters the projected budget immediately as a line item with the most accurate cost estimate available. An unbudgeted legal fee is not just an expense, it is a budget emergency. A budgeted legal fee is a managed financial event. The projected budget forces the budgeter to confront legal and tax realities before emotions do. When the numbers are on the page, before the court date or the tax deadline, decisions can be made with clarity instead of panic. So then goes the actual budget. The actual budget tracks every dollar as legal and tax costs arrive. So you get a real-time alert. That's what the actual budget does. Is where the legal and tax spending becomes visible the moment it happens. Every attorney payment, every court fee, every tax installment is recorded in real time. So the cumulative cost is never hidden, and the budget can be adjusted around it while there is still time to respond. The other thing that you want the actual budget to do for you is to catch the inconsistencies. So when legal or tax costs deviate from what was projected, like an attorney bill higher than expected, or a tax penalty that was not anticipated, as in the example that I told you about before, the actual budget makes the inconsistency visible immediately. And that visibility is what gives you the power to respond rather than react. There's also an emotional counter that's associated here too, because the actual budget replaces emotional guessing with factual data. In a divorce or a criminal case, when emotions are at their highest, the actual budget becomes the calm, objective record that keeps financial decisions grounded in reality. The summary budget, what it does is it sees the the full financial impact over time. So it gives you long view protection. Legal matters and tax liabilities rarely resolve in a single month. The summary budget tracks the cumulative financial impact across every month a legal case or a tax obligation is active. This gives you a complete picture of how much has been spent, what remains, and how the rest of the financial plan must be adjusted. Once a legal matter concludes or a tax obligation is resolved, the summary budget shows exactly how deep the financial disruption went and what the realistic recovery timeline looks like. That data removes guesswork from the rebuild and replaces it with a structured path forward. So visit our website at robertfnewkirk.com to learn how to combat financial disruption. Budgeting in 3 dimensions does not prevent legal fees or taxes. Nothing does. What it does is ensure that no legal or tax event can hide inside the budget or cumulative, undetected, or detonate without warning. Visibility is protection. You who catch a legal or tax inconsistency early because the actual budget flagged the deviation from the projected budget has time to respond. So you have no tracking system. It discovers the full damage at the end of the month when no response is possible. So this is why you want to change your one-dimensional system as a budgeter to a 3-dimensional system. The system and tools will keep you protected. Legal fees and taxes do not give you advance notice, but budgeting in 3 dimensions gives you the structure to absorb them, to track them, and to recover from them without losing control of your financial life. That structure is what I built and what I want to put in your hands today. So, it comes in 3 forms. You call my budgeting in 3 dimensions the course, the money management course. What does it cover in context of this episode? The course teaches how to build a projected budget that accounts for variable and irregular financial obligations, including legal fees and tax line items that most budgeting approaches completely ignore. There's a mindset that builds here, because the course trains you to treat every financial disruption, including legal fees and tax events, as a data point to be tracked and managed rather than a crisis to be survived emotionally. That mindset shift is worth more than any single financial tip. What's the outcome here? You who have completed the course now enters any legal or tax situation with a functioning 3-dimensional system already running, which means the alert system is already in place before the threat arrives. And we also have the Budget 360 application tool. What does it provide in terms of legal or tax cover? A single platform where the projected budget holds the legal or tax line item. The actual budget records every cost as it arrives in real time, and the summary budget accumulates the total financial impact across the full duration of the situation. It is your inconsistency detector. Because the projected and actual budgets live side by side in the Budget 360 application tool, any deviation between what was planned and what was spent is immediately visible. For legal and tax situations where costs frequently exceed initial estimates, That visibility is the difference between managed disruption and financial collapse. So, what's the call to action here? You got the book, you got the Budgeting in Three Dimensions Money Management course, and you have the Budget 360 application tool. You may not be able to control when legal or tax situations arrive, but you can control whether your financial system is ready when it does. So for more tips, follow the link below for the Budget in Three Dimensions Money Management course. At the start of the episode, I told you that there were two forces that exist with the power to erase a budget overnight: legal fees and taxes. Now you know why. You know how they arrive. You know how they compound. And you know why lack of knowledge and emotional charge are the accelerants that make them catastrophic. The best time to build the system that protects you from legal and tax disruption is before you need it. A three-dimensional budget with legal and tax line items in place, a real-time actual budget tracking every cost, and a summary budget capturing the long-term picture is not just a financial tool, it is a financial shield. This week, look at your current budget and ask, do I have a line item for estimated tax liability? Do I have a line item for estimated legal fees? Do I have a plan for what's happening financially if a legal situation arrives? If the answer is no, your system has a gap, and the legal fees and taxes will find it. So be sure to pick up a book, Budgeting in Three Dimensions, which I have right here. Enroll in the Budgeting in Three Dimensions Money Management course, or access the Budget 360 application tool. Run a tight ship, because legal fees and taxes will test it. Legal and tax threats are real and they are very serious, but they are not unmanageable. My call to action to you is specific and immediate. Audit the current budget for legal and tax gaps this week, not someday. Because someday is when the legal fees and the taxes arrive. So know this: knowledge is the first defense. Your budget is your second. Budgeting in Three Dimensions provides both.